What's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Hey, you guys, it's Woosah Wednesday. You already know what that means. That's Greenleaf. This is season 2, episode 14, The Father's Will. Although the episode should have been called, Who's in Charge of the Girl? Is Lady Mae in charge of the girls? Is Sophia in charge of the girls? Is Kerissa in charge of the girls? Yes, yes, yes. This whole episode was about the ladies being in charge of situations, of others. Yeah, their own destiny, their own body, the whole nine. Even with all of that, I want to say that this episode to me was a little contrived, and in some spots it was a little poorly acted. But let's press through all of that and get into this review. Before we get started real good, you guys already know the routine. If you are new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now before you forget. Give me a thumbs up. You guys know the ratings. The thumbs up, thumbs down system on YouTube is very, very important to the YouTubers, as well as the comments down below. Don't forget to comment down below. And I'm going to ask that you guys share my videos. If you know anyone that loves the shows that I review, share my video with them. Share them on your Twitter, on your Instagram, anywhere you can. Share my videos. I ask that you share them. I'm at over just I think 1,000 subscribers, which was my goal. However, I think what I want to do is set my new goal at 1,500, and at 1,500 I think I'm going to do a giveaway, but we'll talk about that in another video. Okay, right now we're here to talk about who's in charge of the girls. Okay, so when we left off last week, we already remembered that Lionel was blazing up the road, and he had something imperative, something important, something life-changing that he wanted to tell Bishop and Lady Mae. Okay, so what he wants to tell them is that Aaron is gay. Okay, Lionel. Okay, stupid, stupid. And they were like, "What? Oh, what? Did you guys know he was gay? No, we didn't know he was gay. But we have had our own circumstances we've been dealing with." And so he tells them how there was a job opening, and he decided that Aaron would be perfect for the job. Instead of him calling Aaron on the phone, he decided he's going to drive from Tennessee to Alabama, Montgomery, to surprise his son about a job. Now, Aaron got a job with a Southern Poverty Law firm down in Montgomery. Okay, he got a job. But you're going to surprise him like it's a birthday cake or something with a job. Okay? What the? You went looking and you found. All right? It's none of your business. It really is none of your business. And for you to be taking it from state to state, where you trying to act like this boy got 6 heads or something, he just gay. It's gay people all over the church. The church is busting at the seams with gay people. Okay? What are you talking about? You act like they're aliens. They're all over the place now. Everybody, just about everybody, knows somebody who's gay. Why are you making this announcement, Lionel? So he talks about how he goes to the boy's door unannounced at the crack of dawn, and Kevin is there, and it's obvious that they have not been sleeping. Said in a 1-bedroom. I was like, boy, please. Okay, if you've been to college, you done been in a 1-bedroom, knee deep in folks. So I don't know what you're talking about, a 1-bedroom. What a 1-bedroom supposed to mean? Plus, you showed up at the dude's door unannounced. Even if he was straight, you wouldn't do that. He could have had a chick there. I mean, I got him a job, and I wanted to surprise him, and I went down there, and I knocked on the door, and I noticed. It continues through this whole episode about me, me, me. That's what this is about. It's about his embarrassment, his own disgust for the lifestyle. It has nothing to do with his son. Through this entire episode, the mediation with Bishop and everything, it has nothing to do with Aaron. None of this has anything to do with Aaron. All of this has to do with who his father is and who his father's perception of what his life should be. And it don't include a gay child. All right? This is what we do. This is how we send people over the brink. This is how we run them off and make them feel like they are unwelcome, Charity. But we're going to talk about it. Now, so they know, when he says it was Kevin there, of course, Lady Mae and Bishop let on that they knew that Kevin was gay, but they didn't know they had anything to do with Aaron, and they're just as shocked as he is. And Lionel tells Bishop, you know Kevin. I mean, you know Aaron. He respects you. Would you talk to him, please? And so Bishop was like, yeah. I was like, okay. Now you got a grown son that you can't even talk to. You can't even reason with. You go to get another man in another state whose wife you have slept with to have a conversation with your son to try to talk him out of being gay. My daddy say you too dumb to be stupid. Oh, you too dumb to be stupid. You too dumb to be stupid. You know what I'm saying? All this book sense and business sense and all this stuff that you have achieved, and you still this stupid. So Bishop and Aaron are coming into the church. Now Aaron has been summoned to the Greenleafs from Montgomery, okay, all to come and have this come to Jesus meeting about his sexuality. I wish I would. So Aaron is just like, what if this was Jacob talking to Bishop? This is before they go into the mediation, and you know, Bishop is like, I don't know. I'd like to think I would love him despite all of that. Would just tell my dad that, tell my dad that, would you? They go into the mediation. Lionel goes right in. Romans, Romans, Romans. And it says in Romans, and I was talking to Romans the other day, and woo woo woo. And Aaron has his own scripture about love, about acceptance, about being just as much of a child of God as Lionel is. And Lionel's not hearing it. It gets pretty heated. And Bishop is kind of telling Lionel, listen, calm down. Just talk to your son. Just listen to him. Just look at it from his point of view. Who chooses this lifestyle? Why would he choose this? And it gets pretty heated. Lionel feels like the bishop is not on his side. Why are you taking his side? You get it's not a side, Lionel. But okay. So they take 5 minutes. Bishop goes and talks to Lady Mae, okay? And Aaron goes and talks to Charity. But first, let's talk about Bishop and Lady Mae. All right. So Bishop goes and talks, and he needs that sounding board, and she sits him down, and it's her assumption that it's going to be Lionel and Bishop against Aaron and his lifestyle, and that somehow Bishop is going to be able to say something to Aaron to change his lifestyle and to help Lionel. But Bishop doesn't feel that way. First of all, did y'all even bother to sit down and talk to Kevin? Did you even bother to sit down and have this conversation with Kevin at all? You didn't, did you? How he gonna fix Lionel and he couldn't even help a man that was in his own household? All you can do is love. I'm so frustrated with this episode. But anyway, he's a little shocked that she is taking this positioning. And she tells him once again, now she's been taking these little snips and little bites at him. The more kindness and love that he shows, the more compassion and empathy that he shows, I think Lady Mae perceives it as weakness. She wants him to be a little bit more cutthroat. And we kind of seeing the same thing from Kerissa where Jacob is concerned, but we're going to talk about that. And so she makes this little quip about Aaron is not Faith. Well, that hurt Bishop, and she apologized, and then she told him that she wanted to go ahead and talk to Charity before someone else had the chance to tell her about Kevin and Aaron being together down in Montgomery. Now let's go ahead and talk about Bishop and Faith. That really, really touched me because I felt like if Bishop had taken 1/10 of the time that he took to help Aaron, to speak on Aaron's behalf, to speak on Faith's behalf, it would have changed the course of her life. It would change the course of her life. And I hope he spends every day thinking about it. I hope he reconciles it. I hope he asks for forgiveness for it. But I hope he spends every day thinking about the fact that he did not support his daughter in the way that he should have. Okay, or Kevin for that matter, but more importantly, Faith. Bishop gets back, and Aaron and Lionel are there, and they resume back where they left off. Lionel is like Romans, 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 and Aaron is like, listen, I've been going through this all my life. I've tried. Do you think if I it just comes to this huge head, and Aaron just decides, I don't want to talk about it anymore. You know what I'm saying, I'm chasing my own tail here, let me go on. And Bishop is saying, let's just think about, can we all just kind of come. And Lionel cuts in, you know what the good thing about your mother leaving us the way she did. Now you know she did. The way she did is she never had to. He slapped that ball so hard down to the ground when he threw it up there. He said, eh. She knew. Lionel was like, what? Lies. Oh no, she knew. When did you tell her? When I was 13. Lies. And she knew about you too. She told me not to tell you about who I was because she knew you'd be a butthole. And lo and behold, you're a butthole, Dad. And she also knew about you. Okay, and all the many women that you had. Just because you did it with women don't make it any less a sin. And storms out. I have no idea what he is talking about. And he then goes and does something even more seedy, even more low down. In other words, because he's a homosexual, he's a liar, and he lying about this. And Bishop is like, okay, all right. Yeah, you want to gather Bishop and gather Lady Mae. All y'all want to be against Aaron, and your ugly mess is coming out. It's bleeding out the sides, boo. It's bleeding out the sides. Okay, so later on, Bishop helping take Lady Mae pearls off, and he says, "Did did Lionel's wife ever tell you about some infidelities that he had?" And she's frozen. Why do you ask that? And he says, well, I don't know. Aaron implied that his mother had told him about numerous affairs, numerous women that Lionel had during their marriage. Did she ever confide in you in these things? And she said, no, she was my best friend. She told me everything. She never mentioned it. And she then starts to drag Aaron's good name by implying that he too is a liar and just trying to save himself and his filthy lifestyle by lying. Bishop moves on past it. Okay, we've all moved on past it, right? Okay. All right. So, later on that night, okay, they all get together and have dinner. But before we go to dinner with the Greenleafs, let's move over to Kerissa and Jacob. Kerissa is starting off Jacob's morning with that Georgia Dome. Okay, so she giving Jacob that Georgia Dome. She's excited. She's on top of the world. She's called out of her job at the school because she's going to go down to the office with Jacob and prance around like a Cheshire cat, high stepping, click clacking all around because she first lady. And she says, I'm the first lady now. I think it's important that I set the tone. Now, so they get down to the church, and the treasurer, Brittany, Sister Treasurer, is showing them around. Now, the Sister Treasurer tells them, Kerissa says, where is First Lady Skank's office? And she's right next to Pastor Jacob. And she says, oh, how convenient. This Kerissa, oh, how convenient. And Sister Treasurer says, you will be keeping her on as the minister of music, right? Because she's a phenomenal voice and she's an excellent, and that kind of talent is hard to come by. And so, Jacob is like, I don't see why not. And Carissa's like this, okay. Then when they get down to Jacob's office and he sits down, Kerissa is just like, that's my man. Okay. That's my man. All right. So she's all super duper proud. She tells the sister treasurer to when she sees First Lady Skanks to tell her she looking for him. And little by little Jacob is trying to reel her in because he can see that she's starting to peacock a little bit. That's this treasurer of the church. She not my assistant, okay? You can't be sending her on errands. She said, I called Tasha Skanks and she ain't returning my phone calls. All right, so I just told her when she see her to tell her I'm looking for her. All right. Later on, when uh Jacob decides he's gonna have a meeting with all the staff there at the church, a great meeting, and he also tells them one of the things that he wants to do additionally to everything's going great. You guys are doing an excellent job. No sense to reinvent the wheel. I just want to do this one thing. And Carissa's just like, he finna announce me as first lady. He finna let them know I'm in charge of the girls. And he wants to talk about the homeless, okay, including the homeless people from the real, the real church. And when he's at the pulpit just contemplating, it's a dark pulpit, the church is closed, in walks the treasurer, and she thinks that it was a wonderful meeting he had with the staff and all of that, but she thinks he needs to hold up a little bit, including the homeless, because of the financial situation. We don't want people to think we putting money out on all these other programs when we got these things already in place. So he tells her he wants to take it under consideration, and she does get a little snippy and she walk out. So Kerissa goes to see Lady Skanks at her office, and she is there, and the ladies in church are there, and they are consoling her. You want us to make you something to eat? You want us to come spend the night at your house with you? What do you want us to do? And she's like, no, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. And Carissa's like, can I have a moment? Can we all break this up for us while I talk to First Lady Skanks? And so Kerissa is fake as usual, and she tells how you holding up, girl? I'm just trying to get you hold up, and Skanks, he left, and he only took one pair of shoes. And Kerissa was like, I don't know. We was all like, I don't know. But okay. She tells her, why don't you come and have dinner at the parsonage? I don't know why she won't say come have dinner at our home. She never calls it our home. She always calls it the parsonage. Okay, because she wants to keep it far removed from her delicate white, lily white, whiteness, purity. So, of course, Lady Skates is so excited. She just loves making new friends, and she has always tried to be friends with Kerissa. And so she's taking this as that, a sign that they're going to still be friends and be close or whatever. Woman comes in and calls First Lady, and they both answer. And Carissa's like, and the lady said, I meant First Lady Skates. She said, well, of course, of course. I'll see you tonight. So later on that night, they having dinner. And although Sister Treasurer never drug First Lady Skanks, First Lady Skanks is at dinner with Kerissa and Jacob, and she's dragging the treasurer, Sister Treasurer. It's bad form. Bad form. Oh, Bishop used to call her Prime. I forget the name of it, but he used to call her this name that essentially it was something, like she was all stuck up and whatever and controlling. And so, she offers, Lady Skanks offers to go and have a conversation with the lady. And so Kerissa was like, no, we'll handle it. And she was like, no, I don't mind. I don't mind at all. I'll go right on in there and I'll tell her. I'll tame that thing. Kerissa said, I said, we got this. And so Lady Skanks gets sad again. And she is just like, I just think about him being out there by himself. I just hope he's okay. And Jacob reaches over and touches her hand. It's gonna be all right. And Kerissa looks at him, touch her hand like, this hoe got to go. That's how she looked at her, like, oh heck no, this itch Got to go. Later on, when Jacob comes to bed, he's feeling all, gonna catch me some first lady kitty cat. And she's like, we need to move Tasha's office. And he's like, baby steps. Let's not even worry about that now. Well, we can move her down to your old office. You was in there for a hot second. And he says, first things first. Let's not come right in doing this type of thing. Let's baby step it. Oh, you want me to go down to that office? Huh? You want me to be there? And he was like, I don't want to talk about any of that right now. Right now, I'm trying to catch me a kitty cat. You know what I'm saying? Gotta be quick. Get that kitty cat. She is just like, I don't know. So I said to myself, she is not going to be happy until she alienates and cuts everybody out. She truly wants this to be their church and theirs alone. She does not want First Lady Skanks to be involved. She wants her to go on. She does. She wants that. And it's going to come to a head. It's going to come to a head, and Kerissa's going to see to it that it does. Meanwhile, you got Zora and Sophia. They out practicing for the cotillion dance rehearsal. And Roberto is there with Sophia. They looking cute. And Zora is there waiting on Isaiah to show up. Meanwhile, Sam and the girl that he going to the cotillion with is over there. And Sam obviously still has an eye for Zora. He's waving, she's waving back. They obviously talking behind the scenes. Zora and Sam they keeping it quiet. But he keep looking at her and she keep looking at him. He keep focusing on her and she keep focusing on him. Even when Isaiah come in and he seems like he might be just a little bit lit. Okay, got shades on. He talking all fancy, talking all sideways to Sophia. Get out there on the dance floor. Instead of him following the steps, they like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's like a waltz. And he was like, I'm gonna spin you out, and then I'm gonna do my own thing. Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. Muck it up, muck it up, muck it up. And the lady's like, come on, what are we doing here? Let's bring it together. Let's do it right. Well, later on, Sophia is just a little put out. She's just like, so you just, first of all, you don't show up on time. Then you here with your shades on. Now you wilding out. You clearly litty. You're supposed to be here to support her, but you just can't do that. He was like, why you always giving me cuzzo shade? Why you always throwing that shade? And Zora kind of chimes in because she noticed that he'd been taking a lot of pictures with girls like groupies. And she says you need to cut down on the groupies a little bit, especially at the cotillion. This is about her. This is her cotillion. He decides, you know what? Screw you, screw your cousin, screw all y'all. He runs out. Zora runs out behind him. And he just goes off about Sophia. And Sophia, you gonna take her side of it? You let her talk to me like that? See, this is where he starts separating you from your family and friends, my dear. And then after he yokes her up and pushes her up against the wall and hits her shoulder, and she's just like, why are you doing this to me, Isaiah? And he is just like, I can't live without you. When I think about how much I love you, I just get so upset. And you please don't leave me. I'll never do it again. Okay, so this is where he leads you to believe that his life and his happiness is dependent upon you being with him. Like he's just going to crumble and fall apart if you're not there. He makes you responsible for his happiness, responsible for keeping him satisfied. Okay, so we're manipulating you, we're physically attacking you, breaking your self-esteem down, and we're separating you from your family, and now we're making you solely responsible for my care and love and happiness. All right, this is what he's doing. And she's just like, okay, baby, I promise you, Zora, if you had fought him in that courtyard, win, lose, or draw, if you had fought his I promise you, he would have never jumped on you again. He would have never put his hands on you again. If you had a hauled off and just start windmilling that monkey, he would have never put his hands on you again. Never. If you would have just hauled off and slugged the crap out of his monkey. Let's talk about Charity real quick. We're gonna knock this out. Charity, is upstairs talking to her baby once again. Like that's her best friend from college. I have no idea why she talked to that baby like that, but it's sad, really. Um, Jabari calls and he's got surprise news. Evidently, Tamala Man wants Charity to sing backup while she on tour. And so Charity, who is the minister of music and a new mother, wants to go away for 10 weeks to sing backup with Tamala Man. I love Tamala Man. I really do. But girl, please, goodbye. I'm with Lady Mae. So she wants either Lady Mae or Marisol. She wants to take Marisol on the road with her for 10 weeks. Oh, that is so convenient for you to be able to have your own built-in babysitter. So Lady Mae was like, she got a job and a child and her own life. I'm not sure she's going to want to do that. Well, evidently, Marisol can only do it for a little while. And Tamala Man's got an assistant who's certified in baby CPR. She's going to take the baby for the rest of the time. And of course, Lady Mae is not hearing any of this. But prior to all of this, after she finds out and she's trying to work it out with the whole Marisol situation, how if she can get Marisol to do it, Aaron comes in. This is what he does with his 5-minute break. And she lets him have it. She doesn't care about what he has to say. He lived in her house. He was her lawyer and all of that, represented her against Kevin and all of that. And comes to find out you and Kevin, y'all buddy now. Y'all sleeping together. Y'all woo woo woo. And he tries to tell her, listen, I think what happened with Kevin was, and she said, I don't care what Kevin. Care about Kevin's feelings. I don't care about Kevin. I'm trying to take care of my son and me. He left his son. He left his son. He left his son. Okay. If your son was a priority, you would not be taking him on the road 10 weeks so you can sing back up for Tamala Man. Girl, bye. Goodbye. Goodbye. I know y'all think I'm hard on Charity. I do. I know it. Natural girl, I hear you. You think I'm hard on Charity, but I feel like Charity deserves it. Charity needs to grow up. Point blank, period. So, he concedes. He realizes that she's angry. He feels like she's justified for being angry. But when she goes on, she says, even, you know what the funny part is? If I was a lesbian, I would still be a mother. Situation was different. And I was a lesbian, I would still be a mother. Well, Kevin is still a father. He still is a father. Okay. But if you was a lesbian, you would have a whole nother set of circumstances. You might be thinking about your life a little bit differently because you feel so outcast and so downtrodden. He doesn't feel like he has a place. Everywhere he's turning, Carrie, people are telling he's a sinner. He's a reprobate. He's against God, and God doesn't love him. And he's an abomination. Can you imagine what that type of thing, not only from other people, but from your own mind, from what you have been taught through tradition? Like, this your best friend, girl. You can't find no compassion in your heart. So he tries to tell her again, I said I don't care about Kevin's feelings. And she asks Aaron to leave, which he does. Okay, later on when she at the dinner table with Lionel and and Lady Mae and Bishop, and they having dinner. Now this is after Bishop has tried to mediate. This is after he has asked Lady Mae about if Lionel's dead wife told her about all the affairs he had. So all of this is after that. So Lady Mae, who has been drinking, from what I can tell, since Lionel got there, she is drinking again, as she is on one. Okay, she's pissed at Charity because Charity is trying to take the baby away for 10 weeks. Marisol can only stay for part of the time, and the rest of the time she gonna have this strange woman who is the assistant to Tamala Man to take care of her son while she sing backup. And Lady Mae is pissed off at Lionel because, come to find out, the woman he was cheating on his wife with wasn't just her. It was like a whole bunch of people. So he was cheating on his mistress with another mistress. All right. And she been drinking a little bit. And so she gets Charity sage advice. She tells her, you don't ever let no man take you off your course and off your path, and you give up everything in your life and betray all of that. I mean, she's very, very harsh to Charity, and Charity's like, I wouldn't do that. And she is just like, I'm not even hungry anymore. Marisol, more wine. So she is two sheets to the wind. She feeling some type of way about men folks and they lies and how they lie to women. It's all Kevin's fault, and Kevin shouldn't have never left you. And this when you put all your hopes in men and chasing after Jabari. I mean, she is just projecting all of her anguish about Lionel and how the path that her life took. She's projecting all of that onto Charity. And Charity is just like, I don't understand. So later on, when Lionel is in the study and Bishop is somewhere off and Charity is somewhere off, Lady Mae decides to let Lionel have it. You know, she's pissed off because she feel like he lied to her. So you lied to me. You told these beautiful words you told me as your mistress. They weren't true. He said, well, you were my top bitch. I had many hoes, but you was my top hoe. And she was like, oh, please. And he says, well, it's true. She's upset. Now you in the house, your house. Your husband's just down the hall with your children and your grandchildren. Okay? And you have decided to confront your ex-lover about the fact that he had other lovers. Well, he tell her, she said, Negro, please. Lady Mae was drunk as Cooter Brown, okay? Drunk. And her hair was flapping. And she said, you are nothing. Well, he tell her, listen, your brother was a rapist. James is no saint, talking about a husband. And that sissy son-in-law of yours has corrupted my own son. And she slapped him so hard in the face. If you don't get the pluck out, okay, get the pluck out of my face, I promise you. Oh boy, when I tell you, he had her so wound up. If she wasn't so drunk, she'd have really scratched his eyes out. Okay, the next day he leaving. Bishop come down to say goodbye. Now I'd have left that night if it was me. Okay. Lest I wake up dead. I'd have left that night. But he leaving the next day, and Bishop is just trying to implore him one more time to please talk to Aaron. That's your only son. Please talk to him and try to work this thing out. He tells him Lady Mae's not coming down. She's not feeling well. She hung over. And she don't want to look upon your face. She told him never come back there again. He tells Bishop, after Bishop tells him that about his son, he still don't even think about his son. He still don't even bring Aaron up. He say, tell May I'm sorry. Sorry for what? Oh, that she's not feeling well. Okay. In the back of my mind, I feel like Bishop no. I feel like Bishop no. Okay, so Grace is over at Darius, and Darius has made dinner. She wants to talk to him and find out where he sees himself in 5 years, like it's an interview. And he wants more land. He wants you to write a book. And she said, no children. He said, no, I'm good. And she asked him again. He's like, why are you asking me this again? And she's just like, I'm wondering. I don't think it's something you could know. Now she clutching her own glass of wine. She's just right there. I was like, oh, y'all, some of the drunkest saints I ever did see. Well, Darius tell her he don't want nothing but that pastoral punani. Okay, can we please stop all that jibber jabber and you get up on top of this thing right here? Can you do that? And she was like, oh, you want this pastoral punani? He said, I do. I believe I do. And she's like, well, come on, get this pastoral punani then. And he gets on top of it. She gets on top of it. There you have it. They have decided to christen their relationship and make it that much more complicated. Okay, now, so you guys, that is the whole episode of Greenleaf. This was a good episode. I am very, very disturbed by the fact that, you know, this episode was wasted basically chasing our tails. I don't think this episode was very fruitful at all. I think it was so anticlimactic that it was all about Aaron being gay, because we are all like, but we see the next couple of episodes is going to be charged up. We're going to see Basie Skanks again and Rochelle. That's what I'm waiting on. I'm waiting on something to light a fire to all this dry wood we got going on. We don't need but one spark, and all this dry wood is going to go woof, up in flames, and I am here for it. What do y'all think about this episode? What do y'all think about Lady Mae being jealous of all the other mistresses? It was the most redundant thing I'd ever seen. the most redundant thing I've ever seen. I think that Greenleaf is playing with this whole homosexuality in church situation. I really, really do. That conversation that Grace had with Bishop was probably the meatiest conversation that we've had about this subject matter, and it's important. All right. So if we're gonna have filler episodes, at least make them important. That's all I'm saying. Um, what y'all think about Kerissa? Kerissa, y'all, I can see the bump on Zora's forehead. I'm not really sure why we have not shown Kerissa addressing this situation. Zora appears to be out there on her own. And hell, if it wasn't for Sophia looking out for her, the girl would be in a wheelchair. Anyway, you guys let me know what you think. Y'all think Sam and Zora trying to get something going? What y'all think about um Grace letting Darius into the pastoral pot? Okay, you guys, put it down below. Until next time, honeybees. Mwah. I'll holla.